Hello, my name is Stefan and welcome to my seminar. My seminar will be about the immigration and culture of Ukrainian Canadians. And also, I will be discussing an issue Ukrainian that they had to first started immigrating to Canada in the year of 1891. This wave of immigration continued all up until the start of the First World War in the year of 1914. This was considered the first wave of Ukrainian immigration into Canada. In total, there are four. The second wave started after the First World War in 1922 and ended around 1939. The third wave started during World War II and ended in the year of 1952, and the current wave of immigration started in the 1990s after the collapse of the Soviet Union and is still ongoing. Now, some more information about the first two Ukrainians that immigrated to Canada. Ivan Pilipov came to Canada and worked for a few months and then went back to Ukraine to bring his family and to recruit other families to live in Canada with him. He, along with the other families that joined him, created the first Ukrainian settlement in Canada. The settlement was located in Edna, Alberta. The other first recorded Ukrainian immigrant to come to Canada was Vasyl Eleniak. He came to Alberta because the prairies offered him lots of acres of land which he could use for farming and for creating food. Vasyl had to work hard due to the harsh winters of Alberta and because his family was dependent on him for food. This is Ivan Pilipov and this is Vasyl Eleniak. The first Ukrainian immigrants entered Canada from Galicia and Bukovina, which at the time were provinces under the control of Austria-Hungary. Many of the Ukrainians who came to Canada were poor and came with little money and belongings, but they still decided to move from Ukraine in search of a better life. Meanwhile, Clifford Sifton, the Liberal Minister of the Interior for Canada in 1896, was looking for farmers to help expand the prairies. He knew that there were a lot of farmers in Eastern and Central Europe, which is why he set on a mission to promote Canada to the people living in those areas by means of posters and promises. He promised Ukrainians lots of acres of land and money for them to come and farm in Canada. And this is an example of how a poster would look like, and this is Mr. Sifton. In current-day Canada, Ukrainian Canadians are not just located in the prairies, but are located all over Canada, including Ontario. Ukrainian Canadians have become a contributing factor to Canada's workforce. They have jobs in various sectors, and definitely they do not just continue to farm like their ancestors used to when they first arrived. In 2006, a census completed by the Government of Canada stated that 1,209,090 Ukrainians lived in Canada, and that number is still continuing to rise. And this is Tyler Bozak, who plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who is a Ukrainian Canadian. The biggest issue that Ukrainian Canadians had to endure while living in Canada was the internment and horrible treatment from Canada, specifically during the First World War. Ukrainian Canadians had lost their democratic rights to vote, were sent in internment camps for forced labor, had to report their activity to local authorities, were made fun of school and bullied, and were not allowed to participate in certain activities in which others could. This is a very serious issue, and it is very important to understand all the details and struggles during the First World War in which the Ukrainian Canadians had to endure. The article that I have chosen describes the life of an Ukrainian Canadian man that was put into an internment camp, and it describes the struggle and the harsh conditions that he had to endure while being in the camp and while trying to escape, even almost losing his life because of his actions. The article goes into further detail about life during World War I for Ukrainian Canadians and is an informative piece of work because many people today are not aware of the internment camps that Ukrainian Canadians were put in. These are my three questions. Did Yuri Forchuk die in the internment camps? how much money did the Canadian government spend to support future projects that commemorate Ukrainian Canadians? And how were the camps where Ukrainian Canadians were forced to do labor guarded? The end. This is my seminar. Thank you for participating and good luck.